decide what I'm going to do as far as the next videos, because I only have one more room, except for the bathrooms, to finish. And so these videos that I'm making are mainly for me. At one point, I thought I would try to get subscribers, but then I thought with my past history and the way that I do things, and this video is about one of those little things that I have done in my past to help me to get to know myself better as a gay man, and being as this administration is trying to delete anything on their sites and the government sites dealing with LGBTQ and gay. I just thought this is something that is near and dear to my heart. Banning books and just all the things. I didn't even have any books when I was in high school, grade school, or anything, and I'm still gay. So that notion goes up in smoke. But anyway, I was trying to determine what this channel would be if I ran out of rooms, which I at some point would do. I know at one point I thought that I would enjoy fixing up an older house. I have done that once, but I don't think it's anything that I'd want to get into by myself. So I just put that on hold. And so what I thought I would do is just give little stories related to my gay life, being as they're trying to erase all that. At least it will be out there in the cloud forever. And so this little story about my life. I remember in past years trying to hold on to what little some gave me. Just enough to make me think one day it would all be bliss. I had no idea that loving on a one-way street was not how it was meant to be. I always learned things the hard way. I thought it best at the time, for certainly during my young life, there was no readily available books or resources to help soften those paths that lay before me. It was not that I did not want love when I decided to break away. It was just that I finally realized that just enough was not good enough for me. I wanted it all. I wanted to know without a doubt that your love matched mine. I wanted to know that we could talk about the hard things honestly and openly, knowing that my love for you matched my love for me, and my intentions were to not let either of us down. So I learned that. Then my introverted behavior took over, and I practiced loving myself and loving others from a distance. I thought I would protect myself and at the same time be kind to others. I really became a true workaholic. In my mind, I loved those I worked with by working so hard for all that I worked with. How did that work out? I had someone that I used to work with some time ago see a post about my thoughts on the most inept and corrupt president in our lifetime. They started out the post with, "I really liked working with you back then, but I totally disagree with you on this issue." Not that I minded the disagreement, because I could certainly give examples of current behavior of the president to back up my stance. I realized that the saying, "I really liked working with you back then," was a representation of how little I let others know who I was back then, because I had not changed. But in fact, my own introverted behavior had allowed me to go through life not realizing that I did not allow myself to be known. So my path, which started out with holding on too long to something that was going nowhere, and even pushing some away that came during that hopeless romanticism period that I had deluded myself into thinking I had found the one and that I had to remain true. To the next period of my life, I ventured out online and joined some dating sites. I never met so many that were so quick to say how much they loved me and in the same breath ask for money. I never met any of them in person because by that time I had already determined that if this were going to work out, I would at least want to meet halfway without having to send any money. I gave up on online dating sites. I just became of the mind that I wanted it to happen naturally. I wanted to know without a doubt that someone was really interested in what we may be together. But being an introvert, I also wanted to get my thoughts on paper, written down and out there, as much as for my sense of understanding myself, but also to hope. However, knowing in my mind it was just hope on that one-way street. But that one-way street I could deal with. I could always dream, hope, wish upon a star, talk to the moon, pray to that supreme being. When I say that supreme being, I mean all of them. I do not discriminate. I am thinking all of them. After all, they are all coming from humankind's words. Why would the loving parts of one human's words be any less or greater than another's, just because it is in a different book? I do not believe in magic men writing books. So I say this all to reveal something very personal, and some may think it absurd, but it helped me to know myself. I had written off meeting that special one, but I still wanted the feeling of hope. So I thought of the one gay man that I knew was gay and was doing what I thought was exceptional work towards making life better for all. I have a special attraction to those fighting for what is right and just in this world. So I found his messenger email on Facebook. Who knows, it could have been a fake. But that did not matter to me. I was not expecting a reply. I think I even put that in the first email. I just wanted the hope. That lasted between 2 and 3 years. Not every day, but sometimes, just depending on what was on my mind. I ended the emails just as abruptly as I started them. But of course, with a kind explanation that I really was not a stalker. I just was trying to fool myself into a little hope. I played well alone as a child too. I can remember playing with my trucks and cars out in the garden, building roads and just enjoying the process. Sure. Texting was extreme, Facebook texting. But in my mind, I still have great appreciation for what this man is or has been doing in the world. And even to his venture into music. And even though I've never ever met or talked to the real Ronan Farrow, or even know if I would like him on a personal level, I do have to give him credit for giving me hope in my own mind for a time.